Lord, we come to you this time, God, we are so thankful for your love, your mercy, God, your many blessings. God, we're so thankful for just being able to be here this day. God, I pray, Lord, you just grant the wisdom, Lord, to each board member tonight, Lord, to make the decisions, Lord, the best suit for the children, Lord, the staff, Lord, the citizens of Brantley County. In Christ's name we ask and pray.
Amen. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you everyone for coming out tonight. This time we turn it over to Superintendent for update.
Yes, sir. Thank you. I'm excited to announce that the Georgia School Board of Association has announced that our Brantley County School Board has been recognized as an exemplary school board and will be honored at the winter GSBA conference. Various objectives to earn the distinction of exemplary school board include a system strategic plan, the board reviewing the board member code of ethics annually, and board members going above and beyond to receive additional they have to get each year. Congratulations to this governance team, and thank you for all that you do to make sure the children of Brantley County have wonderful schools to attend. So good work, guys. At this time, I'm going to ask Dr. Tim Sawyer to come forward. He is currently leading the Brantley County Educators Retired Teacher Association, and he's got some great news to share with us.
Hi, it's good to be up here again, especially in this capacity.
I bet.
Yeah, I've been asked to lead the Brantley County Retired Educators Association, which is our local chapter of the Georgia Retired Educators Association, GREA, and I'm trying to get something going that a lot of other communities do and have done for a long time. I think maybe we used to do this years and years ago, but it was probably before I got here. But anyway, definitely before I retired. The governor, our county commission, and both city governments have declared November the 7th to be Retired Educators Day. And therefore, I just wanted to come and let you all know that I am in the process of trying to reach all the churches in the county. If anybody can help me with that, that would be great, because there's about one on every other block, and the phone numbers on Google, the phone numbers in the paper, the phone numbers pretty much everywhere are really, really old. And I'm not talking about anybody because she told me herself that those are really, really old, so I'm not being ugly there. Anyway, so I'm trying to get that so that we have purchased ribbons, and like lapel ribbons, for the retired educators to be recognized there during their church services. And so we're trying to get going with meetings again. We didn't have any last year at all, which we were supposed to, but we didn't because of COVID and because of our leader being in very, very bad health. And our former leader is now in Georgia Baptist, whatever, we're in Waycross. Anyway, we're going to actually meet here in this room, as a matter of fact, thanks to the generosity of Dr. Morgan and our Board of Ed staff, so we appreciate that. But we're going to try to get this going again. The retired educators of Brantley County are a really wonderful group, and present company notwithstanding, but they have a lot to offer and a lot that they can still do for our community and for our school system, and I'd like to get them plugged into that. So we're excited about maybe having a good year if COVID will leave us alone a bit better. And so thank you very much for recognizing this tonight and for allowing me to speak.
Thank you, Dr. Sawyer. We are so thankful for our retired educators. We have so many this year in particular. All the years they've helped us, but this year in particular, coming back and helping with interventions, helping with testing. I know Dr. Sawyer and his wife help with that, the universal screener testing that we do 3 times a year. And Dr. Haney has a crew coming in next week to assess some applications for our system teacher of the year. So anyway, they're a big help to us, always continuing to give to our schools and to children. Dr. Haney, will you come forward and share some good news about happenings across the system, please?
Yes, I'm excited, and just to mention again, I had some APs in here today, and they were saying again how wonderful it was to have the retired teachers with them for all of the things that you mentioned. So they were again today bringing that up. So if you will go to the next slide. Just some additional good news that we've got. We had a grant come in, and I'll read on the letter that they sent us, but on behalf of the board chair, Walt Helms of the Georgia Foundation for Public Education, please accept the letter of congratulations for your Computer Science Award funded through anonymous donation made by a family foundation. It is our pleasure to award you in the amount of $11,556.90 to purchase technology for your computer science program. The Georgia Department of Education and the GFPE are committed to changing outlooks and improving outcomes for our students and communities across the state. So we are very excited anytime we can add a little bit to this program. We've presented here at the board before, but there's so many different employability options out there now for kids getting, straight out of high school, and they can be trained in the computer science field and many, many different things that we're doing with that. So this was some bonus money that we applied for and received, and are very thankful to have that. We also had some really good news from our state superintendent. And as far as I know, I don't remember this ever happening before when we had two representatives, but we have two representatives from Brantley County, one parent and one student, who have been chosen for the state superintendent's advisory boards. So the parent advisory board representative is Ms. Krista Gibson, and the state student advisor is Ms. Jessie Harrell. So we're very proud of them and excited that our voice down here in Brantley, a lot of times they hear from the Atlanta people and around that area, but they don't always get that rural perspective. So we're very excited. Not only do we have somebody from Southeast, but we have two from Brantley on there. On the additional thing that I wanted to go, I was able this past Saturday to go to the band performance as a parent and as a representative from the admin, and just very, very proud of our band. If you saw some of the Facebook posts, they were out there at 6:30 in the morning with their little phone flashlights humming the tune and practicing, and that was student-led. Our band director had mentioned it, but the students said they wanted to do it, and they wanted to get up that early and get out there and do that. So I was very just proud that we've said we've got good kids, and they truly, dedicated. But they went and they performed spectacularly. They went on about 11 o'clock. They got straight superiors in all of the categories, which is band, percussion, auxiliary, drum major, and majorettes. And we also got best in our class for the majorettes and the percussion. For our division, which was A and AA schools, we got the third in the silver division, and we had some really tough schools with that, some private schools, and you could tell that they had private lessons and, the dancers and all of that. So we had some tough competition from Alabama, Florida, and Georgia at this one. And then they were asked to come back. They had an overall high enough score. They were asked to come back for the finals that night and compete. And again, we're competing against 5A schools whenever you get to that level, and they did wonderfully. So they did 8th overall in the entire competition, and just they have another competition this Saturday at Ware County, and they'll be performing at 1 o'clock if you're available to go to that. And then also had the opportunity to get to the high school for their Career Day 2021, and they did a little bit differently this year. They set up in the gym, and I think Dr. Horner might have explained a little bit of that last time, but they set up in the gym, and I was there for the Board of Education and to promote teaching and to get some teachers to come back here, and we had several that said that they were interested, so I'm excited about that. But we had everything from cosmetology to most of the engineering and electrical and boilermakers, and just basically, if you name it, the profession was out there. And a lot of colleges, we had the armed forces there, and students had a bingo card. And they went around, and they on their bingo card, they had to ask you a question from it, and you answer. So, like mine was, what did I look for in a recruit, or what was my favorite thing about the job? And so we were able to talk to them, and just had a really good time. 9th graders also did something called Youth Science that day, which is an aptitude test. 10th graders took PSAT, PT, and then 12th graders, while juniors were doing this, 12th graders job shadowed that day. So great career opportunities for our kids. And then finally, just some of the events that are going around in the county. As always, we've got some fall fun going on. Some first grade had a fun day at HES, and 9/11 was remembered at AES, but we also had DNR visits and some writing instruction going on over at WPS with the moon phases, and then a fundraiser celebration at NES. So lots of activities going on right now.
Good deal. Thank you very much. And next up, we're going to have Dr. Christopher Harris and his team. At each board meeting this year, we're going to let our schools highlight some accomplishments at their school or some happenings that's going on. And I'm excited that tonight we'll hear from Brantley County Middle School. And one of the reasons for choosing to do this is because I get so excited when I go into schools and see all the great things going on. And I just want you guys to get a glimpse of it. And so how better than to hear straight from the people that are working there every day. So I feel confident if you were to talk to most any parent of a 7th grader or 8th grader, they would tell you that they're very proud of Brantley County Middle School and the teachers and staff there at that school. So, Dr. Harris.
All right, here we go. So it is an honor to be able to get up here and talk and not tear this up. But it's a privilege of mine to be able to get to work with a bunch of great folks, great educators, and then also not only that, but to get to work with some great students, which is definitely a testament to our parents. We talk a lot about other school systems and things that they have going on, and our parents just take care of a lot of stuff, and we're just so thankful for that, to be able to work hand in hand with them. It makes our jobs easier. It makes us be able to take care of the students and get them the education they need. And so tonight, we do want to talk a little bit about our middle school. One of our goals, our mission, vision that actually Dr. Haney established when she was there several years ago, it's about beyond graduation. It's preparing those students for tomorrow's world, because we don't know where they're going to go, what they're going to do. So we just want to be able to take a little bit and instill a little bit in them that hopefully helps them wherever they wind up, so whatever their calling is. You can go to the next slide, Mr. Allen. So at the middle school, we have a total of 66 employees. 40 of those are certified teachers, and then we have 26 support staff members. And then we have about 521 students. And this year we've had the opportunity of adding about 10 new employees to our faculty. That's from some folks retiring or moving back to home and a few different things. So we're excited to be able to add those new folks to our team. And one of the things that Ms. Chester actually was talking about, speaking of, I need to introduce the folks that are going to help me here so that I don't mess up. But Ms. Chester is our assistant principal. She does a fantastic job of keeping me straight, which is pretty much a full-time job. But I appreciate her and what she brings to it and helps us with. And then these two guys are part of our leadership team. Some others were going to come, but they have some other stuff lined up, and we're not able to be there. Some of them actually take some classes and things. But this is Tyler Page. He works with our connections department. And then this is Coach Max Steve. He's our 8th grade math teacher, and also he is our head football coach and athletic director. So he does a lot for us as well. So I appreciate those guys coming to be with us. But talking about our folks, Mr. Allen, if you go to the next slide. This is a picture that we recently took last Friday on our in-service day. We come up with our little design about stronger together. Last year we did better together, obviously through everything that we've gone through. We're getting better by being together and stronger by being together. So that's what we talked about, and this is just a fantastic group of people here. A lot of them kind of have that same goal of a return on investment. We know we get paid to do our jobs, but also that investment that we have in our students, that we're able to see that come back, and they come back and they work for us, or they come here and build homes in our county and stuff like that. So that's something that I'm very proud of. But I'm also very proud of these folks, and Ms. Trish will talk more about it in a minute, of what they bring when, like you said, folks come in our building. And she's going to talk about that in just a second. If you go to the next slide, I'm going to introduce, or let's kind of let you see. Our middle school obviously is divided up into 7th and 8th grade. We have 3 teams for each grade level. Team 8A over on the left-hand side, that's Ms. Deems, Mr. Steve, and Ms. Tatum. 8B, Mr. John Smith, Mr. Robbie Harris. Mr. Robbie Harris is one of our special education teachers. That's Ms. Mingo there next, then Ms. Sydney Middleton, Ms. Bennett, and Mr. Galt. And then Team 8C there, that's Ms. Patel, Ms. Mosley, and Ms. Bass. Those are our 8th grade teachers. All right, Mr. Allen. Then our 7th grade, again, broken up into 3 teams as well. Mr. Howard, Ms. Grafford, and Mr. Ray are our 7th grade Team 7A teachers. Then 7B, you have Ms. Heather Allen, Mr. Horn, and Ms. Cassie Howard. And then 7C is Ms. Nielsen, Ms. Shelton, Mr. King, and the other Mr. Steve that we have in our building. And so those are our team teachers is what we call them. They make up both 7th and 8th grade. All right. We also have our connections teachers. That's actually Miss Melissa Lee. She works with in our gym and PE department. Then you got Miss Santiago, Miss Jacobs, Miss Collins, Mr. Page, Mr. Sines, Mr. Edholm, and then Coach Edwards there. Also, Coach Smith is one of our PE teachers. He was not able to be in that picture. But those are the folks that are part of our kind of overall picture. Then we got a few others that I want to especially mention that really help a lot. We've got our special education, inclusion, and resource class teachers. That's Miss Lindsay Anderson, Mr. Rodney Carter, Robbie Harris, Dalton Laracy, Miss Lisa Gillis, Miss Mary Ellen Heron, Miss Sherry Jacobs, and Miss Caitlin Morgan. Those are folks, too, that we really appreciate to do a lot for us. And then we've got a lot of other support staff that really make our day go smooth from an admin standpoint. And we just really appreciate all them. And this time, Coach Bates is going to talk a little bit about our clubs and some of the things that they do. And then we'll let Ms. Chester and Ms. Steve talk a little bit.
Good evening, guys. I'm going to quickly go over some of our clubs and the leaders. He's introduced some of the people up there, so you'll hear names again. I feel like Brantley County, and I've been in Brantley County Middle School for 13 years now, and I've seen us add clubs and add different things for kids to be a part of. I really do believe any child at that middle school, they can find something, some area, whether it's FFA or it's Beta Club or FCA, they can find somewhere to belong. And I really do believe that some of these clubs are a lot of the reasons they get up in the morning. They have a sense of belonging, a sense of, being on a team, whether they're part of athletics or not. They have something that excites them that they're a part of. So let's go over these real quick. We have FBLA, which is led by Miss Jill Collins. We have FFA, which is led by Miss Sabrina Hutchinson. We have the Help Club, which is kind of new. It was HOSA, and it's moved over to the Help Club. HELP stands for Health Education Leadership Program, and that's actually with the one I lead, with the Healthcare Science. Technology Club is Gary Edholm. Chorus is Heather Jacobs. The band is Mr. Lena Ray Sines. Let me slide on over right there. We have Student Council, which is Miss Lindsay Anderson. We have FCA, which is Mr. Dustin Ray. We have the Beta Club, which is Miss Alicia Grafford. One other thing I'm going to tell you about that, if you get a chance this year to kind of help, maybe even help us out, come in and be a judge. I think Dr. Morgan stepped in before, and she's judged before. We've added a Club Wars, which is kind of just in-house competition, which you don't have to worry about travel, don't have to worry about anything like that. But we practice, three of us clubs. FFA stays on the road. They have so many competitions and things to keep them busy. But some of the rest of us are constantly looking for something else to get kids involved with. The Technology Club, FBLA, and the Help Club. We choose some things, even though we're three different kind of departments, there's a common element of leadership, teamwork, employability skills, things like that. So we've come together and come up with 4 or 5 competitions each year that we kind of work with and train these kids on how to interview, how to sit down in front of people and interview, working on creating websites. Let's see here, I've got a few more. Career infographics. They come into a room, they sit down, they don't know what the topic's going to be. They have a computer, we walk around and hand them a topic. It might be, like I said, communication, teamwork, something that's got something to do with every one of them, and we give them an hour and say they have to make an infographic, they have to make a flyer. So they really can't prepare, but to a limited amount on how to do this. That's another one of the competitions. Career display. These children can, any area they want, any job, they can select a job from any of these fields, and it's kind of like a science fair board. They go research it, what kind of certification or degree do I need, what's the salary, just anything and everything about that presentation. They have a partner, they present it in front of a panel, they judge, and we hand out first, second, and third with that. But it's just neat to have them find a job that they're interested in and then research it and really look. At the end of it, I've had them come back and go, I wasn't sure, but I know for sure now this is where I want to go. And I've had some of them walk back and go, I didn't realize that was a salary. I didn't realize it was going to take me this long. They were turned off by it after researching it. But I'd rather figure it out now than after 3 years of college. Mm-hmm. Club website, career display, career informatics, and interview skills is my favorite. That's the one we usually get the principals involved in, and we'll have some kids lined up, and they'll go in and introduce themselves and sit down, and they'll just answer some questions. But that's probably my favorite, because regardless, that's what I tell them. My class is healthcare. they might not do healthcare, but more than likely, it doesn't matter whether they're going to have to interview at some point somewhere. So anyway, that's our clubs. I think all of our guys do a great job, and if any of the kids, encourage them. It doesn't matter which club. Find one, join, get involved with it. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
One of the things that the middle school has been able to offer students this year that they have never been able to offer before is JROTC. And I have been so excited to see so many of our students kind of fit this particular group. And every once in a while, I'll give Colonel a call and check on them. The students attend our school, but the class is taught at high school. So every afternoon, Colonel Chapman comes over. The students are escorted to the high school. That's where the class is taught. That's where all of their equipment is. And then they catch a bus there, or they car ride home from there. But I will message Colonel Chapman occasionally and ask him about our students. And I hadn't heard from him in a while, so I sent him an email, and this was his response. It says, Ms. Chester, the 8th graders are performing well beyond expectations. They are active participants in many of our extracurricular activities and always approach whatever we are doing with a positive attitude and enthusiasm. They look great in their uniforms and are picking up drill and ceremonies very quickly. Sergeant and I are very proud of them and the progress they are making. One thing I'll add is that I'm looking forward to all the talent this group has to offer as they progress through the grades and the program. There are some really sharp 8th grade kids in this group, and I'm so excited about the contributions and leadership that they're going to bring to the future of JROTC. So it has been just absolutely wonderful. I'm just so excited that we have this and that our students are flourishing. It's technically a semester-long course, and so students can choose to change a connection in December. I've spoken with many of them, and they're eager just to continue on through the rest of the school year, and Colonel Chapman is eager to have them. So that's been a great, great experience. Something else I'd like to talk about is it's often, we hear this so frequently in our school. We have, like we said, 10 new employees. About half of those are teachers. And then, of course, we have some veteran folks. And I have been questioning them, just trying to figure out kind of a little, we have a segment that we do on Friday called Getting to Know You. And in this segment, we ask our teachers some questions, and some of their responses I felt were worth mentioning. And so one of our teachers said, I knew I wanted to work in the school system, but I never dreamed it would have been in a middle school. However, as soon as I walked in, I felt like it was home. The people here are so friendly and happy and genuine. It makes coming to work enjoyable. I know this is exactly where God had planned for me to be all along. Another comment was, Brantley Middle has been close to me for a very long time. I ran the halls and ate rectangular pizza as a kid, spent 3 years here as a student. I'm excited to continue my journey as an educator here at BCMS. And then the last one from one of our teachers who's been here a while. After almost 6 years of public service in my former occupation, I started teaching and coaching at the high school. I taught algebra, geometry, and economics. When the Georgia Studies position came open, I was thankful it opened when it did. I thoroughly enjoy learning about our state. Yes, still learning. Now I have been teaching at BCMS for over 13 years. I'm thankful for all the staff here and appreciative of my team. BCMS is not perfect, but I really would not want to teach in any other middle school. Mr. Page was talking earlier about, what the teachers look like when you walk in a building. Are they smiling? And when you walk in, I feel like our teachers are smiling. They're happy to be there. They get along well with one another. And when teachers are happy, our students are happy. And so I can't say enough good things about the culture of our school and how positive it is. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, I'm Coach Steve. I'm just going to give you an update about middle school sports. Our fall sports have concluded, and just a big thank you to these kids and these athletes and these parents for getting these kids to the practices during June, during July, August, September, and just now ending in October. We couldn't do it without them, obviously, but they worked very hard and very proud of them. Just to highlight some of our things this year, our cross-country team, our boys and girls worked very hard this year. Our boys kept on finishing in 2nd and 3rd place all year long, never got that first place finish. But in the championship for the conference, they did finish first place, and they were our region champs for the boys. And then they competed in an invitational this past weekend, and they finished 11th place out of 18 teams. Very proud of them. Our middle school softball team did very well. They finished in the top 4 in the conference. They made it to the semifinals where they were defeated in extra innings by Appleton County. we want to be conference champs. Our football team, we finished the season with a thrilling win over McIntosh. It was 2 plays that I called, and neither one of them went as planned, but our kids just fought, and made 2 bad plays look really good. And very proud of those young men, and just the fight and determination they had this year. Our cheerleading led by Coach Gibson, that she did a great job and worked since June and really back since May fundraising, and they did a great job rooting for our kids and our football team. And she's getting ready for basketball season now with those girls. At the last football game, we recognized all 8th grade fall sport athletes. We're sending 22 football players, 4 softball players, 4 cross-country runners, and 4 cheerleaders to BCHS next year. That's very exciting. And being in this role for the past, going on my 4th year now, I'm starting to see freshmen, sophomores, and juniors play in those varsity sports that came from the middle school. And it's just real exciting to see how much they grow over those years in high school and know that they came from us. And that's very special to see. Some upcoming events. This week we're holding tryouts for our basketball teams. And the season will start in early November. Wrestling will crank up in the next couple weeks. And after Thanksgiving break, they will start their competitions. Thank you.
Good job.
So that's a little bit about BCMS. We're definitely thankful for you guys' support. Obviously, without you, we couldn't make it happen either, so we want to say thank you as well. And I'm just real excited to be here tonight, be able to talk a little bit about BCMS.
Thank you. You guys did great. Appreciate it. Thank you. You guys did great. Appreciate it. All right, Mr. Wiley, that concludes our update.
All right, thank you. This time, is there any public participation? Hearing none, we'll move right along. Approval of the agenda. Could I get a motion to approve the agenda?
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda.
And a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion on the agenda? Hearing none, Ms. Teresa?
Yes.
Mr. Mike?
Yes.
Ms. Brenda?
Yes.
Mr. David?
Yes.
Chair votes yes. Disposition of the minutes. Can I get a motion to accept the minutes?
I'll make a motion.
And a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion on the minutes? Ms. Teresa?
Yes.
Mr. Mike?
Yes.
Ms. Brenda?
Yes.
Mr. David?
Yes.
Chair votes yes. School financial report. Can I get a motion to approve the school financial report?
I'll make a motion.
And a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion? Ms. Teresa?
Yes.
Mr. Mike?
Yes.
Ms. Brenda?
Yes.
Mr. David?
Yes.
Chair votes yes. Athletic report. This does not require a vote. Next item is SPLOST report. Ms. Teresa, would you read that for us?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
School financial. You did the monthly.
I did this, didn't I? Or did I not? Did I miss? Okay, I'm sorry. I checked it before I said it. We'll back up. School financial report. Could I get a motion to accept school
I'll
financial?
make a motion to accept.
And a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion on the school financial report? Ms. Teresa?
Yes.
Mr. Mike?
Yes.
Ms. Brenda?
Yes.
Mr. David?
Yes.
Chair votes yes. Now, athletic reports does not require a vote. So, Ms. Teresa, would you read the SPLOST report for us?
Yes, the local was $137,755.94. The new car tag purchases was $84,790.96 for a grand total of $222,546.90. Y'all are holding steady, so just continue, Ms. Mitty, to put in there, support local. Gas, everything.
Okay, the next item is the CARES. Dr. Morgan?
Yes, sir, you have included in your information the CARES 3 purchases for the month of September, or up through September.
Thank you. And the action items. Dr. Morgan?
Yes, sir. I recommend to approve the second reading of Board Policy DIB financial reports as presented.
Here's Superintendent's recommendation. Can I get a motion?
I'll make a motion.
And a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, Ms. Teresa?
Yes.
Mr. Mike?
Yes.
Ms. Brenda?
Yes.
Mr. David?
Yes.
Chair votes yes.
I recommend to approve the upgrading the telephone equipment for the school system. The quote from BTC is $5,300 for the equipment and $6.99 per phone at the monthly rate.
Here's Superintendent's recommendation. Can I get a motion?
I'll make a motion.
And a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion?
when Ms. Gill worked with BTC on this plan. It's going to update our phones, make us more efficient, we think, and at the same time save us a little money. So, good plan overall.
Ms. Teresa?
Yes.
Mr. Mike?
Yes.
Ms. Brenda?
Yes.
Mr. David?
Yes.
Chair votes yes.
I recommend to approve the contract agreement with Ms. Jacqueline Mills, CPA, for preparation of Breathitt County School District's annual financial statements. The cost is $4,500.
Here's Superintendent's recommendation. Can I get a motion?
I'll make the motion.
And a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion? Ms. Teresa?
Yes.
Mr. Mike?
Yes.
Ms. Brenda?
Yes.
Mr. David?
Yes.
Chair votes yes.
I recommend to approve the contract services with Ms. Kay Hudgens as presented.
Here's Superintendent's recommendation. Can I get a motion?
I'll make the motion.
And a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion?
Yes, sir. As you know, we're currently operating without a psychologist, and so this is a psychologist that we will contract with to do our SPED evaluations this year.
Thank you. Ms. Teresa?
Yes.
Mr. Mike?
Yes.
Ms. Brenda?
Yes.
Mr. David?
Yes.
Chair votes yes.
I recommend to approve the bid of $12,593 from Follett School Solutions for the first year annual cost, and the annual cost beginning with year 2 will be $5,872.65.
Here's Superintendent's recommendation. Can I get a motion?
I'll make the motion.
And a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion?
Yes, sir. This is the program that our media specialists use for inventory, and this is an add-on to make it more efficient and help us with all the purchases that we'll be making with our federal dollars, and particularly CARES 3 and with the grant.
Thank you. Ms. Teresa?
Yes.
Mr. Mike?
Yes.
Ms. Brenda?
Yes.
Mr. David?
Yes.
Chair votes yes.
I recommend to approve the bid of $23,374.08 from CDWG for the Microsoft agreement.
Here's Superintendent's recommendation. Can I get a motion?
I'll make the motion.
And a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion?
Mr. Allen, was there anything you wanted to add? This is the annual
Yes, ma'am.
agreement.
This is the annual agreement that we do that covers our servers, our desktops, and also the office software that we use.
Thank you. Ms. Teresa?
Yes.
Mr. Mike?
Yes.
Ms. Brenda?
Yes.
Mr. David?
Yes.
Chair votes yes.
I recommend to approve the BCMS summer project change order request from Charter Restorations for the cost of $23,236.97.
Here's Superintendent's recommendation. Can I get a motion?
I'll make the motion.
And a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion?
Yes, sir. When we were replacing the flooring in the bathrooms this summer at Breathitt County Middle School, these were some work that popped up that was, some of the costs were more than the original quote, and we did not have a contingency amount in there, and so this is the amount that we need to add on to that budget, and from now on our construction projects, we'll make sure we have that contingency built in.
Any other discussion? Ms. Teresa?
Yes.
Mr. Mike?
Yes.
Ms. Brenda?
Yes.
Mr. David?
Yes.
Chair votes yes.
I recommend to approve the bid of $3,925 from Speed to purchase 5 computers from the Hunter Primary School.
Here's Superintendent's recommendation. Can I get a motion?
I'll make the motion.
And a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion?
Yes, sir. These are 5 computers that are going to be replacing some very old, outdated computers, and will be funded through MPS's instructional funds.
Thank you. Ms. Teresa?
Yes.
Mr. Mike?
Yes.
Ms. Brenda?
Yes.
Mr. David?
Yes.
Chair votes yes. Need executive session for personnel?
Yes, sir.
Need a motion to go into executive session for personnel only?
I'll make the motion.
And a second?
I'll second.
Ms. Teresa?
Yes.
Mr. Mike?
Yes.
Ms. Brenda?
Yes.
Mr. David?
Yes.
Chair votes yes. All right, these are back. It is 7:54. We're out of executive session with no action taken. Could I get a motion to come out of executive session?
I'll make a motion.
Ms. Tracy?
Yes.
Mr. Mike?
Yes.
Ms. Brenda?
Yes.
Mr. David?
Yeah.
Chair votes yes. Dr. Moore?
Yes, sir, we have one more action item. I recommend to approve the revised FY '22 pay scales as presented.
Here's the superintendent's recommendation. Can I get a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Any discussion? Ms. Tracy?
I'll second.
Oh, did you take it? I'm sorry.
First, and I'll
Okay. I'm getting ahead of it.
Excuse me.
I'm hungry.
Yes.
All right. Ms. Tracy?
Yes.
Mr. Mike?
Yes.
Ms. Brenda?
Yes.
Mr. Davis?
Yes.
Chair votes yes.
I'd like to ask the board to accept the following resignation. Mr. Lawrence Fruin, bus driver.
Here's the superintendent's recommendation. Can I get a motion?
I'll make a motion.
And
I'll
second? Ms. Tracy?
Yes.
Mr. Mike?
Yes.
Ms. Brenda?
Yes.
Mr. Davis?
Yes.
Chair votes yes.
I'd like to ask the board to accept the following retirement resignation. Ms. Marcia Carlson, school nutrition secretary.
Here's the superintendent's recommendation. Can I get a motion?
I'll make a motion.
And second?
I'll second.
Ms. Tracy?
Yes.
Mr. Mike?
Yes.
Ms. Brenda?
Yes.
Mr. Davis?
Yes.
Chair votes yes.
I'd like to ask the board to accept the following recommendation for hire. Taylor Kirkland, school nutrition program assistant.
Here's the superintendent's recommendation. Could I get a motion?
I'll make a motion.
And a second?
I'll second.
Ms. Tracy?
Yes.
Mr. Mike?
Yes.
Ms. Brenda?
Yes.
Mr. Davis?
Yes.
Chair votes yes.
I would like to ask the board to approve the following athletic addendum. Kinsley Dowling, 7th grade girls head basketball coach.
Here's the superintendent's recommendation. Could I get a motion?
I'll make a motion.
And a second?
I'll second.
Ms. Tracy?
Yes.
Mr. Mike?
Yes.
Ms. Brenda?
Yes.
Mr. Davis?
Yes.
Chair votes yes.
I'd like to ask the board to approve the CARES 3 personnel as presented.
Here's the superintendent's recommendation. Could I get a motion?
I'll make a motion.
And a second?
I'll second.
Ms. Tracy?
Yes.
Mr. Mike?
Yes.
Ms. Brenda?
Yes.
Mr. Davis?
Yes.
Chair votes yes.
I'd like to ask the board to accept the pay scale adjustments and addendums as presented.
Here's the superintendent's recommendation. Could I get a motion?
I'll make a motion.
And a second?
I'll second.
Ms. Teresa?
Yes.
Mr. Mike?
Yes.
Ms. Brenda?
Yes.
Mr. David?
Yes.
Chair votes yes. Anything else?
No, sir.
Can I get a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
And a second.
I'll second.
Ms. Teresa?
Yes.
Mr. Mike?
Yes. Yes.
Ms. Brenda?
Yes.
Mr. David?
Yes.
Chair votes